subscribers into Flodesk, and I'll show you how to add them manually. And after, we will dive into the most important settings in Flodesk that are essential for email deliverability. Otherwise, your emails might just end up in the spam folder, so don't skip this one. Hello Internet people, my name is Robert, and this is the third lesson in my complete Flodesk course. So if you missed the previous lessons, you can also go back and watch the first lesson by clicking on this video banner right here, and it takes you to a YouTube playlist. Otherwise, let's get started with this lesson. And here what we need to do before we go further, if you want to import any subscribers you already have, you just come to audiences, and from here you can add subscriber, you can add individually, or you upload a CSV. So let's say you want to upload from another email tool. Let me show you. I have some dummy data and I'm going to just upload it. And you see, you need to map the different fields in Flodesk. So this is the fields that I have in my CSV. So there you go, Arnie pumping iron. Yeah, that's the email. Then first name, I'm just gonna link it to the first name field in Flodesk. Then last name. And then I already have some groups here. So what if I need a group section here? So what I can do is just click on new field. And then now I can add interest. So this is actually an interest, not a group. So if I add that, there you go. Now it's gonna map it to interest. Subscriber date here, I don't know if you need that. You could also add that, but in my case, it doesn't really matter. So let's click on continue. So now you need to say, well, which segment you're adding this subscriber to. Right now, I don't have anything, so I need to create a new segment. Let's say they all go to this generic newsletter. I'm gonna give it a color, blue, and then click on save. And now it adds it there and continue. So now it's importing the list. I only had like 4 or 5 there, so now you should see. So right now it didn't show anything. Let me refresh this page. And there you go. It took like a minute and then it shows up. I again refresh the page. And here you go. These are the new ones I just have. Okay, there you go. I'm not sure why it says bounced here because these are also not a real, these are not real email addresses. So interesting, but I guess it just knows that @test.com is not a real email. But I have now a list here, and now I have one segment, but I could create more segments here as well. So let's create a new segment. So let's create a new segment, and I'm going to call this interested in email. So let's give it a yellow, save, and then we can also create, I don't know, interested in websites. And you'll see later when I create a form why this is important. So I would definitely start segmenting as soon as possible because it's just going to help you down the line. Before we do anything else, let's set some important settings, because without these, we're kind of repeating ourselves. So here, if you go in the top menu and here on the right, you click on this icon, then you see here, let's go to email setup first. So you see, I'm in my account, and we can set the from name from here. Because we already sent one email, it remembers, and you can definitely adjust this one. From email is this one, and you could also add other senders here. The from name and also from email. But you would need to also confirm that email, that you actually, own that email. Then you have the domain setup. Now, this is optional, but I highly recommend you purchase a custom domain name. So instead of your emails coming from lisa@gmail.com, they would come from lisa@yourdomain.com. It just looks so much more professional, and this will help you avoid spam folder if you send out a lot of emails. And this is super important to do, especially when you start sending out emails to your subscribers. Because if you don't do this, it increases the chances that your emails will just end up directly to spam folder. So it's really important because Gmail and Outlook looks at this verification, and if it doesn't see it, it thinks, hey, this is a bit of suspicious. So just do it before you start sending out emails. And then we have branding options. So if I click on branding, you can upload a logo from here. So right now I don't have a good, but I'll just add myself as a logo. And if you want, you can also, it shows up in different places. So I'll just add it like that. Then you have brand colors. So if you have specific colors, let's say I would say, hey, I have, this is one of my brand colors. And then you have another brand color, which is, let's say it's this one. I already know these, but if you don't know how to create these matching colors, I have a great website to just see what colors matches, and it's called coolers.co. What makes this tool great is, let me show you. Start the generator. So you just pick one color, or you just let it pick all the colors for you. So there's a tutorial here, but basically what you do here, let's say I don't like any of these colors. I'll press spacebar on my laptop, and you see, okay, I kind of like this green, so I can lock this green. And now every color that it shows you will fit with this green color. And I'm just pressing on the spacebar here. Let's say I want a very contrasting, I want a very colorful. I can just lock this one. And now I can just see, oh, okay, I could have this dark blue or violet, I guess. And maybe this light color. So now what you can do is grab these hex codes. So you just grab this, copy it. Now you come here in the branding and you can add that here. So this is how you could find out a hex code. From here you can also upload a brand font. So if you have your own font, you can upload it here. And then you have company details. So for example, in my case, my company details, let's say it's tips. And my website, I can just link it here, punch like this. We already entered the company address. And then if you want to add any social links, you can do it from here. So let's say I have a YouTube, I can add it from here. So like this. And let's say I have also Instagram, I would just add it here. And now these two, whenever I add a social element or social icon element in my emails or my forms, they will show up. So only the Instagram and YouTube will show up because that's the only ones I've set up. And then you have this made with love in Flodesk footer. So if I'll show you in the email. So it looks like this, made with love in Flodesk. And if somebody clicks on this and they actually sign up and pay for Flodesk, you get an affiliate commission. And the person also gets 50% off the first year. But if you don't want this, if you don't want to promote Flodesk, you could disable it here. But right now I'm not on a paid plan, so I cannot actually do it. So it's not allowing me. And then let's go through opt-in setup. Now double opt-in emails, especially when you're starting out, I would not enable it. But if you do want to, double opt-in email just means that if somebody signs up to your newsletter, they get an email saying, hey, thanks for subscribing. Can you basically confirm that you intended to subscribe to this? And then you need to click on the link or a button, and then only then you become a subscriber. If you don't click on the link or the button, then nothing happens. You don't become a subscriber. Why do you want to have this? The good thing is if somebody actually, receives your email and clicks on the button, then at least they're active. They want to be there. It's not an accident. Whereas without the double opt-in, you'll get some subscribers that either put wrong email in your form, or maybe some other things. They might be less engaged with your newsletter. So it's a choice. But when you're starting out, it's just easier to get a bit of traction when you don't have this, because it's an extra step for people to take. If you choose to enable double opt-in, I'll show you how in a second when we build a form. Then you would adjust the email from here. Same thing for your thank you page. When people actually sign up through double opt-in, then you would have a thank you page also there. And then you have preferences page. This is where people can adjust their preferences in terms of emails. You can adjust how it looks like. You just click here on edit and adjust the information. And then quick, I want to mention is the integrations, and you can connect directly Flodesk to Instagram, Shopify, but also to Zapier, which is a really powerful tool, which helps you to automate a lot of things. And it basically connects different types of tools to each other. Some tools you can connect directly, like Typeform and Kajabi here, but some you'll need to use Zapier to actually connect. First you connect Flodesk to Zapier, and then the other tool to Zapier, and that way you can create automations as well. But that's a bit more advanced. And hey, I know this part was a bit boring, but it's really important to do this early on. So in the next lesson, which you can watch by clicking on this video right here, I'll show you how to create a form and start collecting emails.